Liberty City, home to her, those guys, him,
Who wants to eat my wiener?
her, and this fellow. And many, many traffic-filled, congested roads. Have you ever asked yourself, is it possible to drive from one side of Liberty City to the other without using any roads? Probably only if you had too much time on your hands. Or you're a content creator looking for a new series idea. Let's lay down the ground rules first. For this challenge, I will not be allowed to drive on any roads or bridges where you'll find civilian traffic. Places I am allowed to drive are parks and gardens, malls, plazas and pedestrian pathways, car parks, loading bays and other utility areas, alleyways, railways and subways, and sidewalks. Really, I should only use these to get from alleyway to alleyway. My challenge starts here in an abandoned wharf in the northern western corner of the map. My goal? A pier located all the way down in the southeastern corner. Luckily, when I arrived at the wharf, I found an abandoned Comet Vista that no one was using. Which was perfect. This is just the kind of car I need. Something fast and agile. So without further delay, let's get the challenge started. Yeah, I think this could use a quick wash. Okay, where were we? Right, the challenge. The first obvious problem is the West River. I needed to get from Alderney, the most westerly island, to the central island of Algonquin. The Hickey Bridge to the north, and the Booth Tunnel were obviously both out of bounds for this challenge, which meant only one thing, I was gonna have to jump it. And that meant travelling here to a location in between the bridge and the tunnel, where the river is narrow enough to make the jump. To get here I had two options. I could either hug the coast and drive on the beach around the north tip of the island, but Comets aren't known for their off-road capabilities. So with that in mind, I tried to find a route through the maze of alleyways. The challenge began at sunrise. Right, let's go! Getting out the wharf should be pretty easy. It's then just a case of driving down to the beach and I've crashed. Whether it was stage fright or the excitement of the challenge getting to me, yeah, I just completely drove straight into a ditch. I blame these tyres that are lying around the place. So, as I was saying, it's just a case of exiting the wharf, navigating through the hobos down to the beach, and then a little bit of off-roading.
Out of the way, come on!
As I mentioned, this Comet really does not like off-roading, and things got very hairy towards the edge of the cliff here. But then it's quite simple just to follow these dirt tracks to the main roads, where the challenge would truly begin. The challenge now turns into a navigation puzzle, figuring out where the alleyways are and then linking them all together. Let's start by crashing through some backyards. Very satisfying. Then it's a cheeky drive along the sidewalks, across a pedestrian crossing, to a nice open plaza. Hanging a sharp left and a left again, things are going to get a little bit risky as we try to sneak through the police station, past all the police officers. How they don't chase me here, I do not know. And then it's just a case of, the game's crashed. Brilliant. Yeah, my old 360 is starting to show its age a bit, and this happens sometimes. So, yeah, let's just start again. Okay, we've seen all this. Fast forward, fast forward, fast forward, fast forward, fast forward. No. Where were we? There. Okay, go. Right. So as I mentioned before, I thought the Comet's greatest enemy was the dirt and off-road, but turns out the real villain all along was stairs. These stairs in particular were a real pain in the backside when I was doing practice runs. I I had made it up the stairs, but at what cost? I'd lost my car's bonnet. That's hood in American.
Get out of the way!
I thought running over a group of old ladies might help cheer me up, but it didn't. It was clear the poor Comet wasn't going to make it through the challenge in one piece. This part of town had plenty of alleyways to choose from, so moving through it was pretty easy. Luckily, going downstairs isn't half as difficult as going up them. After helping out this guy with his sweeping, it was yet more alleyways, then a narrow gap through some scaffolding. Breathe in, everyone. Originally, one rule I was going to have in this challenge was to not run over any civilians. But as you can see, that lasted, well, less than 5 minutes. And in GTA 4's Euphoria physics engine, it'd be rude not to. It's just so satisfying. Just like smashing through fences like this one. We're now approaching an extremely critical part of the journey. It's imperative that after I've turned this corner and go down the loading bay, I need to keep up my speed as we're approaching the jump across the West River. If I'm going to make it, I'm going to have to really push down the throttle and not crash into anything on the sidewalk. Ah well, bollocks. Remember kids, always wear a seatbelt, whether you're driving your car, a friend's car, or one you've borrowed without permission from a total stranger. Not to worry, we can turn around and try this again. Luckily, this one went a lot smoother, but will I make it? Yes, alright, first try. After successfully landing in Algonquin,
Another happy landing.
the next challenge will be crossing the Humboldt River to the east. Unlike the first river, I actually had a choice of 3 bridges. Option A, cut through the alleyways, then a drive through Middle Park, where I could then have a quick jump across and access the metro line. It would then just be a simple drive across the river using the rail bridge, but then I'd end up on the island of Bohan, and getting off here would not be easy. My most southerly option would take me to Broker Bridge. There is a pedestrian path across the river here, but it is very narrow and almost impossible to access by car. So that left me with the third and final option, Algonquin Bridge. Here is a wide and easy to access public footway that went right across the bridge, where I could reach the last island, Broker. So I'd made the jump, but now I had a new problem. For the first time in my life, I'd overachieved at something. I'd completely overshot where I was supposed to land, and found myself right in the middle of, oh no, a road, a highway, a busy one. What am I going to do? Right, I had to calm myself down, look at my surroundings, and a median, yes! I can use that to get out of this mess and try and get back on track. Luckily, heading down here and under the overpass brought me back to the promenade again.
I never thought this would happen.
Sorry friend, not now, in the middle of a challenge. So after this slight inconvenient detour, I was back where I wanted to be. After driving along the promenade and passing Escape Park, I was once again confronted with an old nemesis, stairs. After conquering the second foe, I headed up and down some parking lot access ramps. I am now truly deep in the urban heart of Liberty City. This is where the traffic is at its most congested. The road layout is a series of grids, but luckily for me there are many alleyways to find my way through. Heading towards Central Park would be a good idea. It's a wide open space, so I'll be able to cover a large distance, and it'll also give me multiple choices of alleyways to choose from to carry on with my journey, heading towards the bridge. After relieving a guy of his groceries, and hopping up some stairs into, you guessed it, more alleyways, I should probably make some kind of effort to avoid hitting all these people. If I run over too many... Okay, I don't even know where that homeless guy came from. If I run over too many, I'm going to get the LCPD chasing after me. And that's going to make the challenge a little bit more tricky, so ideally we don't want to do that. There's not the most elegant or most exciting driving through these parts here. There are some very tight corners and narrow alleyways, so I have to take it slow. There is something quite satisfying about driving over pedestrian crossings, especially if there are cars waiting. In this alleyway, it was death to all trash cans. And a sharp right where I gave a group of pedestrians the fright of their little lives. I was now at the very edge of Middle Park, and the hit and run body count was starting to add up. There was no way I could get away with running over more civilians, no matter how hilarious it is. Okay, maybe just a few more. Even with the apology, hitting that jogger in the green top was one pedestrian too many, and now the police were after me. But maybe the no roads challenge would also give me an advantage at losing the police. Surely they weren't going to follow me down the narrowest of alleyways. It was time for some 10-pin bowling. Make that 3-pig bowling. The police were well and truly after me. It was time for some serious getaway driving. In an effort to keep up my speed, I accidentally ran over a midday conga line. It was time to duck up the back alleys to try and keep one step ahead of my pursuers. Yeah, so that wasn't the most graceful driving ever. It was quite tempting to head down into the subway here. If I could reach the tracks and stay on the ground, I'd definitely lose the police. But that wasn't the plan. Instead, I was heading to more pedestrianised areas, so the hit and run count was only going to go up. I can only apologise to all the NPCs and their families. After a close encounter with a hot dog vendor and a cop car right on my tail, it was time for a quick wheel spin to get myself in the correct position to get over this narrow bridge. After crossing this one, it was time to head back over another. Was crossing these two bridges utterly pointless? Probably. Was it fun to do? Yes. Did it help in losing the police? Definitely not. And driving to this police station definitely wouldn't help either. But things are about to take a serious turn for the worst. After a clumsy manoeuvre, I'd found myself teetering on the edge at the side of a construction yard. The police could smell blood and they were moving in for the kill. Here was some serious squeaky bum time at this point. Would I escape? Or would this be the end of the journey? It was a miracle, I'd made it. The Grand Theft Auto gods were truly smiling down upon me on this day. This construction site was the exact direction I needed to go, as I headed further south towards my goal. It was time for more tight and technical driving, weaving in between alleyways and down sidewalks. Still unable to shake the cops, they were still right on my tail. This alleyway was particularly narrow. This part here is truly why you all clicked on this video, to watch me slowly drive through this alleyway. Let's watch it again at 0.25x speed to really get an idea of what's going on here. Okay, that's enough. Let's carry on. Up ahead was the UN building. Well, actually apparently in this world it's called the CC, the Civilization Committee. The guards at the gate with the assault rifles made their opinions known with regards to my driving. I was almost out of Algonquin. Just a couple more tight corners and up a flight of stairs. Go on, keep going. You can make it. Keep going. Keep going. You're almost there. So close. Come on. Now it's just a straightforward sprint across the bridge. Whilst charging over the bridge, the cops gave up. Maybe they decided it was too dangerous. Maybe it was lunchtime. Or maybe I had just simply lost them and driven out of the radius of the pursuit circle. So here we are, Broker, the final island. The finishing line is so close. After coming down on the other side of the bridge, the layout of the alleyways left me blocked in, with only one option. Luckily it took me in the right direction, south. The route now was simple. Just below my location are the docks. There's plenty of open areas to drive through here. And just past the docks is the beach at Firefly Island. Then I'd be there, at last, at the final stop. And the challenge would be over. Driving through this pedestrianised zone gave me a clear route to the edge of the docks. The docks are now below me. All I had to do now was drop down a retaining wall, which would take all my skill, grace, and finesse. Nailed it! The poor comet by now had definitely seen better days, but luckily it still seemed to be working in all the right areas. It should now just be a clear drive through the docks and onto the beach. Take that, NPC, just doing their job. Just a couple more skillful handbrake turns, then down a flight of stairs. This would take me to a promenade, which would lead to Firefly Beach. I take the promenade very cautiously, as, fun fact, I once drove all the way here on a test run, only to end up right in the water, so I have a massive phobia of the planters and the low wall here. So here we are, the last stretch, Firefly Beach. One last little bit of off-roading for the battle-hardened Comet. Don't fail me now. As epic as that jump was, my heart did skip a beat. I was so worried I was going to flip at the last second. The whole route would be for nothing. I had entered a sleepy little suburb. Just a few grassy backyards and fences lay between me and my final goal. And some inconveniently placed roadworks. So close, I'm almost there. It's just off this cliff and down here. And like that, the challenge was done. I had made it. Sure, the comet had now entered the water, but the important thing is, Nika was there, on the end of the pier. I had proven to the world that it is possible to drive across Liberty City without taking a single road. The poor comet was battered, broken, and also slightly damp, so I thought it was only fitting to give it something in between a sea burial and a Viking funeral. And with the challenge complete, I thought there was only truly one way to celebrate. Well guys, thank you very much for watching this video. I had a lot of fun making this video and I hope you enjoyed it. My name's Foolish Pedro. Be sure to like and subscribe and all that fun stuff. I'm planning to make more videos like this. I've already filmed Just Cause 3 and Watch Dogs 2 and hope to be turning those into videos at some point in the near future. So hopefully I'll see you guys around.